If your bedroom door is half open at night, you're not alone. Something likes the gap more than you do. When I was a kid, my mother always told me, "Shut your door properly at night, Jacob. A half-open door is an invitation." I thought she meant for bugs or privacy. I never knew she meant them. I'm 27 now, and 3 weeks ago I moved into an old rental house on the edge of town, a creaking wooden place, badly renovated, and cheap enough for someone like me who's still figuring life out. The first night, I noticed it. My bedroom door wouldn't close fully. No matter how hard I pushed, it slid open just about 2 inches. Just enough for a sliver of darkness from the hallway to stare at me. I shrugged it off. Houses shift, wood swells, but lying in bed that night, something strange happened. The gap widened, just half an inch. I sat up, thinking it was the draft, but the windows were shut. Everything was still, yet the gap moved. The next night, the air in the house felt colder, a kind that makes your breath hitch even if the room isn't freezing. I tried wedging a book under the door. It still pushed open 2 inches by itself. At around 2:14 a.m., I remember the time exactly. I heard it. Slow. Dragging. Coming from the hallway. I froze. The steps didn't sound like an intruder. They were too measured, too light. Almost like someone walking on their toes. They stopped right outside my door, right at the gap. I stared at it from my bed. 2 inches of pitch black, just tall enough for someone, something, to be looking back at me. Then I heard it. A whisper. Not words, just a breath dragging against the wood. Morning, I confronted my landlord, a short man in his 60s with gray stubble and the kind of tired eyes that have seen more than they want to admit. I told him that the door wouldn't close. His expression changed instantly. He asked, "Half open?" I nodded. He swallowed hard and avoided eye contact. "Some doors in old houses do that," he muttered. "I'll have someone look at it." But he never sent anyone. And when I tried asking again, he simply said, "Just keep it shut at night. Completely shut." I wanted to yell at him. "The door doesn't shut." Deep down, part of me already knew. He wasn't talking about the door. He was talking about what comes through it. Scene 4. The nightmare becomes real. 4:30 to 6:30 a.m. That night, I decided to record myself sleeping. I needed proof. I angled my phone toward the door, set it to record, and went to bed. Sleep didn't come easily. My heart kept telling me to check the gap. My head told me not to. Around 3 a.m., the door opened another inch. I felt the air shift, like someone tall was standing in the hallway, blocking the faint light from the window. I didn't move, didn't blink, and then a hand slid into the gap, just the fingers at first, long, too long, curling around the edge of the doorframe. Slow, gentle, like they were testing if I was awake. My throat closed. I couldn't scream. I couldn't breathe. The fingers tapped twice on the wood. Then, as if satisfied, they slid back out. The door remained frozen, 3 inches open. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. In the morning, I reached for my phone with shaking hands. At first, the recording looked normal. Me shifting in my sleep? Faint sound of night insects outside. But then, At 2:58 a.m., I saw it. A shape, a human-shaped shadow, tall and thin, leaned down toward the gap. Its head was almost sideways, as if trying to peer through. Then one pale eye appeared through the opening. Just one, wide, unblinking. The hand followed. Those fingers, too long, too slow. And after tapping twice, the shadow didn't walk away. It crawled backward into the hallway, on all fours, silent, smooth. I dropped the phone. That thing knew I was awake. It wanted me to see it. I stormed to the landlord's house, video in hand. He watched only a few seconds before shutting the phone off abruptly. His face was pale. "You need to leave," he whispered. "Today." I demanded an explanation. His voice cracked. "Those things, they like the gap. A fully open door scares them. A closed door blocks them. But a half-open one?" He looked me dead in the eyes. "It's a welcome, a perfect frame to watch you through." I asked what they were. He shook his head. "They were here long before the house. They don't cross thresholds. They observe." "Then why did it touch the door?" I asked. He hesitated, then said something that still eats at my sanity. "They only touch the door when they're measuring." "Measuring what?" I whispered. "How much you move when you're terrified." I didn't wait for nightfall. I packed everything I could and prepared to leave. But as I carried my last box toward the front door, my bedroom door opened. On its own, slow, deliberate, 3 inches. Exactly. Then the footsteps began. Not behind the door, not in the hallway, but inside my room. Something had already crossed. Something had already measured enough. The air went icy. My breath turned white. A voice whispered behind me. Not in anger, not in hunger, but in delight. "Now you sleep with the door open." The last thing I felt was a cold hand brushing the back of my neck. Not grabbing, not hurting, just exploring, measuring. If you woke up tonight and your door isn't as open or as closed as you remember, don't fix it. Don't touch it. Just don't look at the gap. They like it when you look. Would you rather sleep with your door fully open or fully closed? And why? Subscribe before your screen goes dark.